Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. If you didn't see earlier's video, go check that out. In this video, we're going to be checking out Cathie Woods. She's talking about the AI and the new growth revolution. I'm always interested in what Cathie Wood has to say. She makes some bold predictions, and even though I don't really invest in ARK, I believe she can see the future. So let's see what she has to say.
Finally, ChatGPT captured the imagination of the investor. We had been talking about artificial intelligence since the firm started in 2014. And our confidence, if anything, has increased because of what's happening with artificial intelligence. Finally, ChatGPT captured the imagination of the investor. We had been talking about artificial intelligence since the firm started in 2014. And we had been very focused on NVIDIA as the pure play in this space. So we were there when NVIDIA was 5. We're on to the next thing now. And I would say you're picking early 21. The drop from early 21 in our strategies to the low was worse than the tech and telecom bust, which makes no sense. Back then, the technologies weren't ready and the costs were too high. We didn't have the cloud, we didn't have deep learning and AI, we didn't have transformer technology. We were not ready for prime time and the costs were prohibitive. Today, and yet investors were chasing the dream back then, and that ended badly. Today, talk about investor psychology. We're ready for prime time. The dream is no longer, it's a reality. And investors are so fearful. And so we think that the surprise element out there as our companies take off, and
I will say something. She has been she was early on the call, and also AI used to be a lot more expensive. You were taking a risk because nobody else was doing it. It's a lot harder to grow when you're the only one doing it. It's a lot more expensive, and for people to have tried to make bold calls on it back then when nobody else was the wave, but now not only is it more attainable to pay for, but it makes every single day easier, which will pay for itself in the long run. So it's not having to come out of excess pockets and excess spending and savings that these companies have come up with over the year to pay for something new. This is going to make them more money on its own, and it's going to get better to be able to make them more money. So it's just going to snowball out of effect, and it's really it's the only thing like it.
Harnessing these new platforms, the element of surprise is going to be significant, and we will earn our way back into portfolios. There are many who stuck with us and averaged down all the way. We think they will be rewarded handsomely if our research is correct. We think it is correct. Of course, we could always be wrong.
So the big story, you mentioned AI. Let's just stay on that topic. I look at your largest holdings in your main ARK fund. I see Tesla, Coinbase, Roku, Zoom. I know you've talked about Tesla and AI, NVIDIA and AI, but describe AI's exposure in your portfolio. Where does it help other than Tesla, which you've talked about before, NVIDIA? Look at all these other ones we've got here: Twilio, Roblox, Unity, some of the other ones, Block as well. Speak about it broadly, yes, and what where it fits in here.
Sure. Most of the stocks in our portfolios are there because we've used an AI lens.
She's kind of like a stock market venture capitalist almost. She puts money into the small companies that the vision is too big for the average person to see, and she has the money to help them get what they need. So they help her, she helps them, and she has a portfolio full of them.
Now, we wrote a paper called Investing in Artificial Intelligence, Where Will Equity Value Surface? It's on ark-funds.com. Now, I think many people feel comfortable. They're on the right horses, the mega cap tech companies or the Magnificent Seven, one of which is Tesla. So we clearly agree with that one. We are not sure when it comes to the others. We think that AI is going to be highly disruptive, is going to disintermediate some of these platforms, not all of them, and that it may be the worst thing that has happened to a company like Google. Google If I can go to ChatGPT and just get an answer right away and not be bothered with links and advertisements, I might do that. Well, guess what? Google is responding and now giving me answers. So it could be the best thing that happened to Google. We don't know. All I know is that when there are major changes in platforms, especially user interfaces, now that we're thinking about glasses and other wearables,
That's interesting. She's one of the first people I've heard say, especially directly about Google, that AI could hurt them. And she brings up an interesting point.
The winners of the last round in technology typically are not the winners in the next round. So we're on guard in that regard. And we know that most large cap portfolio managers own all of these. Our portfolios are a highly diversified way to participate in artificial intelligence. For every dollar in hardware that companies spend on artificial intelligence, it will probably pull $20 through in software. So that's why you see a company like UiPath, Robotics Process Automation, which we think it is harnessing the foundation models that OpenAI, Anthropic, and others, Meta's Llama 2, it's harnessing those foundation models, but is using specialized models with its proprietary data to become the robotics process automation company in the world, the largest. And
she was kind of tapping on what I was talking about earlier. She rounded it up in actual numbers. Every X amount of dollars you spend on hardware to be able to, the computers to be able to handle this AI, it's going to bring you 20-fold the money back. So it really is a revolution. That's why companies like Nvidia are just out of stock. Every single company is willing to spend the thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on these CPUs and GPUs because it's going to return 10x. They're going to have these things in the AI verse, getting information, learning from itself, and just making their company invaluable.
Same with Twilio. What kind of data? And you'll hear four variables that we think are critically important as all companies approach AI and try and figure out, how can I harness the productivity gains from this new technology? One is they have deep domain expertise. They obviously know what they're doing, and they have a vision about where their own technology and company is going in the future. They have artificial intelligence expertise. They're taking this seriously. They have good distribution, preferably global, not always. And then most important beyond that, they have proprietary data. And most of the companies you'll see in our portfolios have proprietary data that no one else has that they can use to help their customers. Twilio is another example, 1 trillion business consumer interactions every year and growing at an accelerated rate. They can help marketers and salespeople understand, hey, these were the interactions that caused movement towards your company or your product. That is very valuable information that nobody else has.
So here's another, what she's saying is essentially this is a variation on software eats the world. It's just a more advanced kind of software that eats the world that makes things more productive and efficient. I mean, what she was saying with proprietary data, we had a couple companies go public here in the last couple of months, and one of the things they told me was they get hired to have access to the databases of various companies and provide high-level analysis. AI obviously is in a higher level analysis than you can provide. So what she's saying makes perfect sense in terms of improving productivity for companies that are using the software around this.
All right, I wanted to let him finish. Nothing against this other gentleman. We're not here for him. We're talking about Cathie Wood. She gives some interesting points. Of course, we all know she's been talking about AI forever. We all have at this point. She's been talking about it for even longer. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. AI is going to take over the world. It's just in about every single company now. It's just how good are they going to be able to utilize it? As always, hit the like button, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Take it easy.